Boldwood presents Too Hot to Handle. Written by Portia MacIntosh and read by Karen Cass. Chapter 1. Some people know that they want to get married, and some people are even lucky enough to know the person they want to spend the rest of their lives with. Some are dead certain that marriage isn't for them, and then you have the people in the middle, the ones who are unsure. And therein lies the problem with proposals because, for women in particular, proposals are usually a surprise. I often wonder how many men pop the question out of the blue. You would think most men would sound a woman out, make sure it was what she wanted, or, at the very least, lock in a few conversations over the years so that everyone knows what everyone wants for the rest of their lives. I get it. Most men want it to be this big surprise, but it, sometimes literally, keeps me up at night, wondering how many men get shot down in public places. For all to see, when a woman says no, or even worse, how many women say yes because they're in front of an audience, only to regret it later. I suppose in all of the chaos, the proposal itself is probably the best way, or the first step at least, to figure out if the person asking you is the person you should spend the rest of your life with. Hear me out. Some people go all out with their proposals. It's a whole choreographed thing. Flash mobs, firework displays, brass bands literally chilling on the top of a mountain in the Swiss Alps, waiting for the right moment to pop out from their hiding place. But then you have the more subtle ones. A ring being placed on the dinner table, a private walk somewhere scenic with no one else around. For some people, it's not about the show, it's just about the question, and every woman will have her preference. So how can your partner prove that they are marriage material? By giving you the proposal you want. Not trying to be impressive or flashy or trying to get away with something low effort. Your man should know what you want, whether it's being plastered on the big screen at a Leeds Lions match while their mascot rappels into the stadium to ABBA's I do, I do, I do, I do, I do, or it's just a quiet moment over breakfast in bed where you realise there is something twinkling in the light, and it's a ring attached to a ribbon that is around your dog's neck. My point is that there is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to proposals. That said, this one looks pretty perfect to me.
So, what do you think?
Alice asks me. He looks good in his suit. I'm used to seeing him in his scruffy work clothes. Even his regular clothes usually have flecks of paint or bits of plaster stuck to them, but he's scrubbed up really well today. He does look nervous, though. I can see a slight shake in his hand as he holds the ring out in front of him. He has nothing to worry about. This scene is like something out of a fairy tale. The back garden has been filled with fairy lights, with rose petals scattered everywhere, and there is romantic music playing ever so softly. It's a warm night, despite summer being on its way out, and there's just enough breeze to make the rose petals dance to the music. Honestly, it's perfect. My voice catches in my throat. I just can't get over someone doing something so sweet, going to so much effort, and then putting themselves out there, popping the question, waiting to see if it all pays off. You're amazing. You know that, right? I hold my arms out to beckon Ellis in for a hug. Even he looks like he has a tear in his eye as he gives me a squeeze.
I can't believe we're finally doing this,
he says as we hug.
And I can't believe we've been able to keep it a secret from Louise for so long either. She's your best friend. I know the two of you usually tell each other everything. It must be strange lying to...
Hello? A voice calls out from inside the house. Shit, it's Lou, I tell him, letting go of him, practically pushing him back. Shit, he repeats back to me. You have to hide, I say. Quick, go hide in the kitchen. I'll go in through the patio doors and distract her. Alice, who looks even more nervous now, runs in through the kitchen door. Okay, Molly, come on. Game face on. Hello, I say brightly, catching her in the dining room. I've been knocking for ages. What are you doing? Lou replies. Her look instantly shifts to something suspicious. She can read me like a book. We're supposed to be going out, but you look weird. What's going on? And now would be the time when I say something, anything, to throw her off the scent. Of course, nothing springs to mind in the instant I need it, because I know Lou has a nose like a bloodhound for stuff like this. It really has been so hard sneaking around behind her back. I'm surprised it's taken her this long to get on to us. I part my lips, hoping something will fall out, but instead, something falls over in the kitchen. Well, it's most likely been knocked over, and you can tell from the look in Lou's eyes that she knows someone is in there. Is someone else here? She asks me, her eyes narrowing. Nah, Come on, Molly, say words. Any words. The sounds are just making you seem more suspicious. No? I eventually say, but it sounds like I don't even believe myself. Reading my mind, she storms off towards the kitchen, flinging open the door, only to smash it into Ellis, who is hiding behind it. Shit! He cries out in pain. Ellis, Lou blurts, what are you doing at my best friend's house? Then she turns to me. Molly, what is my boyfriend doing at your house? She asks. Hiding at your house. And you both look guilty as fuck. What the hell is going on? The obvious answer, to most people anyway, is surely that we're having an affair, but you can tell by the look on Lou's face that she can't quite bring herself to fully entertain that kind of betrayal.
All right, look. I'll tell you what's going on,
Ellis says, approaching her with his hands up. When he finally reaches her, he dares to take one of her hands in his.
Actually, I'll show you. Come outside with me?
Lou looks at him like he's a grenade with the pin pulled, but still she lets him take her out into the back garden. The second she steps outside, her jaw drops. She glances between the lights, the petals, Ellis, me. Her face softens as it slowly dawns on her that whatever it is that is happening, it must be something good.
Louise Annabelle Spencer. We've been together for 3 years now, and honestly, they have been the best years of my life,
Ellis tells her, taking both her hands in his.
I know it's a cliché, but you really do make me a better person, and I can't imagine my life without you. So?
Ellis roots around in his pocket as he lowers himself down onto one knee.
Louise,
he says, his voice much steadier now. This is a man who knows what he wants.
Will you make me the happiest man in the world? And will you marry me?
Lou claps her hands over her mouth, which hilariously is the last thing she should be doing right now. She goes to speak without moving them before laughing like a maniac. Yes, she says, as she finally stops smothering herself. Yes, 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 1,000 times yes.
Yes, Ellis says victoriously. She said yes.
And that's their cue. Now that they all know it's good news, Lou and Ellis's nearest and dearest all come in through the back gate, where they've been hiding, just waiting for the right moment to pop out and celebrate with the happy couple. Well, there was no chance Lou was going to say no. Everyone knows she's head over heels in love with Ellis. The back garden is a blur of celebration. Hugs, kisses, photos being taken. Everyone shuffling around to have their moment with the happy couple. I take a step back, letting them enjoy their time in the spotlight before Lou spots me out of the corner of her eye and runs over. Oh my God, Molly, I can't believe it, she squeaks as she hugs me tightly. I can see your fingerprints all over this, as well as Ellis's, and just, wow, thank you. Thank you so much for helping him. And to think you thought we were having an affair. I tease her. I did not, she insists. I knew you were up to something, and I didn't expect it to be this, but, oh, I'm so happy it's this. Me too, I say with a smile. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you both. and I can't take much credit. It was all Ellis. I just helped him execute it. I feel like the luckiest woman in the world, she says, smiling wider than I've ever seen her smile before. It's like she's unlocked a new capacity for it. I smile back. I really, really am happy for her. You'll be my bridesmaid, right? She checks. Do you even need to ask? I reply. It would be an honour. You're the best friend a girl could have, she tells me. And you know I'll return the favour when Dean proposes. My smile must slip, just a little, because I notice Lou's fade for a moment too. He will propose, she tells me. You guys have been together for nearly 3 years. We're just, I don't know, not on course for that, I tell her. He's got his career, that's his main priority, and I've got my stuff going on, and yeah, we're happy as we are. Lou gives me that suspicious look again. Like this evening, he's so busy with work, and he knows I've been busy helping to sort your proposal, but he said he's taking me somewhere special for dinner afterwards, I say, not intending to sound like I'm making excuses, but I guess I am. Wait a sec, Lou says, the smile creeping back across her lips. He knows you've been planning a proposal. You've probably been all excited, and now he's planning a special dinner. You don't think... No, I say quickly. No. Unless... Do you think? I think, Lou replies. Oh my God, can you imagine if the two of us got engaged on the same day? Okay, don't get ahead of yourself, I say with a chuckle. Louise, darling, Grandma is finally here, her mum calls out. Go see your Gran, I tell her. I love you, Lou says, squeezing both of my hands. I love you too, I reply, and I can't wait for your wedding. As Lou walks off, I finally understand what they mean when they say someone has a spring in their step. She is quite literally bouncing across the lawn, she's that happy. It's nice to see, and I really am so excited for her wedding, but as for Dean proposing to me, well, I think she's way off the mark there. He's not exactly the romantic type, and I know that he thinks weddings are kind of lame, and I'm okay with that. Really I am. I'm going to be a bridesmaid for Lou, which will be great. I can live with being a bridesmaid. A phrase pops into my head, like an especially mean, intrusive thought, almost like my inner monologue is teasing me. And now I can't stop thinking about it, which is just... chef's kiss. So great. Do I even need to tell you what it is? You know the one. Always the bridesmaid. Chapter 2. I'm running late. And for a dinner that was booked for late anyway, so hurrying through Leeds city centre at this time just feels all kinds of wrong. It's almost 10 o'clock, which, come on, feels more like a getting home time than a going out time. It's not that I'm an early sleeper. I'm definitely a night owl. It's more that I think I'm just fully ready to embrace my granny era. I know, I'm only 32, and I'll have plenty of time for that sort of thing later, but I don't know. Is it so bad that I feel so ready now? I work in recruitment for a big company that makes biscuits, which is more stressful than you might think, although the amount of tea and biscuits we consume on a daily basis is as you would expect, and it's probably the best perk of the job. That said, I'm still knackered, and the early morning commute isn't for me. Autumn is pretty much here, so all I can really do is just surrender to it, embrace it even. I do really like the autumn. I love the colours, the smells, the flavours. I'm all for cosy cardigans, cups of tea, curling up on the sofa underneath a blanket, binge-watching Netflix while counting down the days until Christmas, which I love. That's what I want. After that, I just have to endure January, February and March because I hate the cold and dark nights. And then it's spring and summer is on the horizon, and then we do it all again. I have never been more certain that I was born to hibernate. The nights getting darker earlier and the weather getting colder is only confirming it for me. Actually, you know what? What I really need is a holiday, more than anything. A proper one. Not a weekend break to London with Dean, which actually just turned out to be for a meeting and to watch the cricket, and it horizontal rained the whole time we were there, but a proper trip to somewhere warm. I need to feel the sun on my skin for it to warm me through. I need to sit by the pool, sipping cocktails and relaxing. You just can't get that in the UK. Even on a nice day, it's not the same. A cold breeze rushes by me, reminding me that I'm in the UK and that I should probably hurry up. Finally arriving at the restaurant, after what I would call some of my best speed walking, I push my way through the heavy glass doors to find that the place is empty. Have I come to the wrong place? Have I misunderstood the time?
Molly?
A waiter checks. Yes, I reply.
This way, please.
He gestures for me to follow him, so maybe I am in the right place. I smile when I notice Dean sitting alone at a table in the middle of an otherwise empty restaurant. We've got the whole place to ourselves. He looks good in his suit. I don't even think you need an eye for expensive things to tell that his outfit cost a small fortune and that he most definitely works in finance. He's tall with dark hair and blue eyes, which is just the dream, right? He smiles as he beckons me over.
Come on, I am starving,
he says playfully.
Hello.
Hi, I reply, giving him a peck on the lips before I take my seat at the table across from him.
I ordered us a bottle of wine, he tells me. You okay?
I'm great, yeah, I reply, finally catching my breath. How was work?
Yeah, it was fine,
he says.
Well, no, it was stressful. But everyone is richer now, so all is well that ends well.
He leans back in his chair and grins. It all went really well, by the way, I tell him.
Good,
he replies. Then he realises he doesn't know what I'm talking about.
What went well?
The proposal, I remind him.
Ah, good,
he says simply. Alice was amazing and Lou was in total shock. Over the moon, though. I continue. I took some photos to show you how amazing the garden looked.
Great,
he replies. He's definitely distracted by something, or there's something on his mind because I don't really feel like he's listening to me.
I've ordered for us, by the way, he says, talking over me. I thought you'd be starving too.
Oh, okay, great, I reply with a smile. It will be a nice surprise then. He nods before taking a sip of his wine.
I just thought, skip that whole step, he reasons.
Absolutely, I reply. I really am starving. We only had celebratory drinks, and to be honest, I feel like they've gone to my head a little.
Well, weddings are all about getting drunk anyway, right? He says.
Yeah, although knowing Lou, you just know it's going to be something super classy, an absolute dream. That's just the kind of girl Lou is. If something is worth doing, she does it right.
So long as you're not the one planning it, he says, with a bit of a laugh. You've been so preoccupied with this proposal stuff. I was hoping I might have you back now.
I'm sure she can take it from here, I point out. I'll have bridesmaid duties, obviously.
Obviously,
he says, rolling his eyes.
Well, if you're finally all mine again, I was going to ask you.
Dean pauses to rummage around in his jacket pocket. Oh my God. Is he proposing? Was Lou right? He's got me here in this restaurant, just the two of us. He's ordered the wine, the food. He's talking about having me all to himself, and now he's going to ask me something. It seems more and more likely by the second, and I can feel the hope rising up through my body, finally reaching my face. I feel my jaw drop slightly in anticipation. I feel like I'm sitting more upright, and my hands have never felt sweatier. But then, he pulls out his phone, and my face must fall because Dean looks at me, confused. Like he can't work out what has gone wrong.
What?
He asks me. What? I reply, trying to style it out. He looks between me and his phone before finally placing it back in his pocket.
Molly, did you?
Did I? I reply, trying to hide my disappointment, but it's not easy.
Oh my God, you thought I was going to propose, didn't you?
He says, grinning slightly. What? No, I insist.
You did,
He replies, laughing, shaking his head.
All of this proposal stuff has turned your brain to mush.
Oi, that's not what I thought, I say, trying not to sound too defensive, but it's not really working. I guess I really did let myself get swept up in the romance.
Molly, we've been over this countless times,
He says with a sigh. I know, I reply, trying to find my confidence again, and I totally get it. You have nothing to worry about.
Don't I?
He replies.
Because it sort of feels like I do. I was just getting my phone out to check if I'd booked an early squash game, because I was going to ask if you wanted to stay at mine tonight. But suddenly it feels like that's never going to be enough for you.
It's fine, I say firmly.
Is it?
He checks.
Or are you secretly hoping I'll change my mind?
I just sigh as I watch Dean knock back the contents of his glass. I need to say something to smooth this over. Dean, honestly, can we just forget about this, please? I ask. I would love to stay at yours tonight. Let's just pretend this didn't happen.
Which we could do, but it's only going to come up again,
he says as he rubs the back of his neck. Dean,
No, Molly, come on. I think we need to face the facts,
he says firmly.
We want totally different things in life. You want a husband and a family, and I don't.
He stops mid-word, clearly to change course.
My work is my life,
he continues.
It's what I love the most. It's my family, it's my future, and I don't think you fit into that future anymore.
His words feel like a punch to the stomach. I can't believe I actually thought he was going to propose. The only thing he's proposing is that we break up. I open my mouth to plead or argue or anything to stop the wheels, but they're already in motion and, well, there's no point stopping them now. I thought Dean and I had a future together, that this was going somewhere, whether we made it official with a bit of paper or not, that didn't matter to me. Now I feel like, we've just been dating for the best part of 3 years? I feel so stupid. I chew my lip for a second. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to say. For a moment he just stares at me, then his expression softens just a little.
I think we both know that ending things is the right thing to do,
he says.
But, look, stay. Have dinner with me. You can even still stay at mine tonight if you like, but then, after that.
Everything clicks into place for me. Sure, I could have dinner with him. I could even spend the night with him, and maybe, just maybe, I could convince him that we can keep things as they are and that I'll never want more. But this whole embarrassing ordeal has given me a kind of clarity that I didn't have before. I don't want to be with someone who loves their job more than they love me, who will always put me second. Not only that, but I was willing to forget about getting married because I loved him, because I didn't care about that. I only cared about him. Surely if he felt the same, he would be willing to make those sorts of compromises too. If he's not willing to settle, then neither am I. I grab my bag from under the table and stand up. You know what? I think I'll give dinner a miss, I tell him. Maybe you could get some work done while you eat. In fact, maybe you can spend the night in bed with your work. I'm sure the two of you will be very happy together.
Molly, you're being daft,
he says, but I don't care. I don't even reply. I just head for the door with my head held high. I'll show him that I don't need him and I don't want him and I am totally unbothered. Frankly, I've dodged a bullet. It feels so much cooler out here now that I've been inside for a little while, but I'm sure I'll soon warm up as I march home like the strong, independent woman that I am. Home to my home that is still all decked out with pure romance. And I'll walk over the rose petals, go upstairs, get in my bed, and then, and only then, will I cry myself to sleep. Well, just because I know my worth doesn't mean I'm not totally devastated about it. Chapter 3. Puffy eyes, knotted hair, a tea stain right down my white vest. Why would any man in his right mind leave me? I look rough, despite getting my 8 hours last night. Then again, it was 8 hours of crying rather than sleeping, so it all checks out. When I got home last night, I did what any self-respecting woman does after a breakup and no dinner. I cried my eyes out while I raided my kitchen, eating almost everything I could get my hands on. Then I put on a movie, but not a rom-com, like you're supposed to, or even something sad. I watched I Know What You Did Last Summer while I shoveled crisps into my mouth and laughed with glee from one murder to the next. This morning I feel like I'm hungover. Perhaps I am, just a bit, from the engagement drinks. But I think it's mostly from crying and eating junk before falling asleep flat on the sofa. It feels like some of the crisps are still inside my neck. Wait, scratch that. It's just one smashed one, practically glued to my skin, scratching me. Boys, I'm single again. Form a queue. I grab my phone and notice a text from Lou in the Besties group chat inviting us all for celebratory brunch in fucking an hour. I need to get ready ASAP, but not a regular get ready, the kind that will hide all evidence from last night. I need to sort out my hair, take off last night's makeup, put on some fresh war paint, and I need to do it all right now. I think when you're like me, and you feel like you're always chasing your tail, and you're always running late, you actually get getting ready in a hurry down to a fine art. I'm like a machine, flying through the motions on autopilot, throwing on clothes, caking on makeup, blasting my hair with enough dry shampoo that it actually looks like I'm ready in an instant, like a magician in a puff of smoke. Now I just need to get there. And look, I can work miracles with myself, but I have no control over public transport. Luckily, living in Chapel Allerton, a taxi into town is doable. It drops me at the bottom of Greek Street with about 30 seconds to spare. I've done it again. I spot Lou and the others lingering inside the entrance of the restaurant. Lou notices me and opens the door. Molly, she sings, all smiles, greeting me with a hug. Hey, sorry I'm a bit late, I reply. You're not late. We're all early, she reassures me. Come on, let's go take our seats. Being a fiancée looks good on Lou. Seriously, the girl is glowing. She always looks pretty flawless. Always in that effortless way. But today she's taken it to another level. Her light brown hair has been curled into the softest, bounciest waves, and her makeup is almost invisible, to the point where it looks like nothing but natural beauty. She's wearing a floor-length floral dress with pink and orange detail and a cropped denim jacket. She looks like she's ready for a photo shoot, and suddenly the rush job I was so proud I did on myself doesn't feel up to scratch. A waiter greets the four of us and shows us to our table. There's a seat next to Lou, but Willow practically pushes past me to get there first. We can sit together, Nita tells me, hooking her arm with mine. Thanks, I reply. Everyone needs a crazy wildcard friend, and ours is Nita. Even the way I met her is a funny story because, believe it or not, I met Nita on Matcha. Yes, the dating app. I was swiping my way through man after man, feeling completely underwhelmed, when I happened upon her. At first I thought it was some sort of glitch, that I had been served up a woman by mistake. And to be honest, after all the underwhelming men I'd met, I actually started to wonder whether if you manage to run out of men, it just starts showing you women instead. Until I saw that in her profile picture, she was holding a sign that simply said, "Stop swiping and read my bio." Curious, I took a look, only to find this inspiring and hilarious message. I don't remember what it said word for word, but the sentiment of it was, "Are you sick of swiping too? Maybe we don't need to find a man on here to complete us. Maybe what we're missing is a fun bunch of girlies to hang out with. Message me. Let's hang out." I showed the message to Lou, and we decided that you can never have too many girlfriends. So we invited her out with us, and the rest is history. Nita is awesome. She looks so cool without ever looking like she has tried. Take the pair of jeans she's wearing right now. I know that she tore the knee by scooting underneath a car to retrieve her phone on a night out. But they actually look like she bought them from some designer shop like that. She's wearing a leather jacket, her long reddish hair pinned straight, and bright red lipstick that I bet she isn't going to get on her cutlery like I would. She looks like a cool, modern Jessica Rabbit. Finally, we have Willow. Willow is Lou's friend from work, and she's fine, I guess, but the two of us just don't seem to get along. We try to make it work for Lou, but there's just something that isn't quite right between us. We tend to find ourselves on opposite sides of everything. We even look like each other's exact opposite. Willow is short and petite, with a sharp dark brown long bob. She has that chiselled, smouldering Megan Fox kind of beauty, making her very much the girl next door type. I, on the other hand, am the kind of girl who actually lives next door. I'm tall, but not like a supermodel, just enough to make me stick out like a sore thumb, with green eyes, long blonde hair, and a rounded face. I look more, I don't know, lived in? Like I've had a harder life? I know it sounds silly, but sometimes it's hard not to feel like Big Bird when I'm surrounded by brunette bombshells. I feel like Weird Barbie, but I am nowhere near as flexible. Our waiter appears to take our orders. First our cocktails, then our food. A pina colada is pretty much a smoothie, right? And I can't resist the Nutella pancakes. I'd probably order them even if I wasn't heartbroken, but seeing as though I am, I order the double stack. For brunch? Willow squeaks. Surely it's more of a dessert, when it's smaller, of course. Oh, of course. I just shrug my shoulders. She can't shame me into ordering something else because this is what I want. I'll have the breakfast salad, please, she tells the waiter. Breakfast salad. Honestly, that sounds as vile as it does depressing, but I'm not going to say a word because I know that grown adults are allowed to eat whatever the hell they want. I feel Nita nudge me with her knee under the table ever so lightly, a silent acknowledgement that she's on my side. Okay, girls, so, Lou begins now that we're alone. As I'm sure you've all guessed, the reason I have gathered you here today is to officially ask you all if you would do me the honour of being my bridesmaids. Oh, Louise, it would mean the world to me, Willow gushes, getting in there first. Absolutely, I add, even though I already said so yesterday, but it hardly feels worth mentioning it just to point score. Yeah, count me in, Nita says. Just promise me we can veto any ugly dresses. Lou laughs. Nita, I know better than to try and tell you what to wear, Lou replies. In fact, I might even let you choose for everyone. Let's not be so hasty, Willow adds. Nita shoots her a look. Plenty of time to figure it out, I say tactfully, trying to move things along. You say that, but I've put our names on the waiting list for the venue of my dreams, Lou tells us. Oh my God, is it? Willow says excitedly. It is, Lou replies in a similar tone. Oh my God, where is it? Nita asks, playfully mocking their enthusiasm. La Palacio de la Mar, Lou replies. Where? I ask, because I'm not even sure what language she's speaking right now. You've never heard of La Palacio de la Mar? Willow says in disbelief. No, I reply, because why would I? It's a resort in Spain, Lou tells us. It's the most exclusive, sought-after wedding venue, favoured by celebrities. Willow continues. Lou and I talk about it all the time at work. It definitely feels like Willow is point-scoring, like she's trying to prove to me that she knows Lou better than I do. So all I'm hearing is Spain and I'm in, Nita says. Imagine the hen do. Well, we'll see if I can even get a booking, but I was thinking maybe somewhere local for the hen party. Yeah, okay, we'll see, Nita says mischievously. Of course, Nita is more excited for the hen party than she is the actual wedding. Love her for that. The waiter places our food down in front of us, and it smells so good. I pick up my knife, stab it into the heart of my pancake stack, and then take my fork to cut myself a bite. It's a huge piece, but I can take it. Lou looks at me with a frown. "Oh my God, Molly, what's wrong?" she asks. I just stare at her, my fork hovering in front of my mouth, trying to hide how annoyed I am that she can read my mind. "Nothing," I insist. "I'm just hungry. What are you on about?" She narrows her eyes at me. "Did everything go okay with Dean last night?" she asks. "Of course," I reply, widening my eyes to hit home my point, but it's too much. "Molly," she practically snaps, her voice firm. She knows. Obviously she knows. "It's nothing. It's not worth getting into," I insist. "It doesn't seem like nothing," she says. "Come on, you can tell me. It's okay." I sigh as I place down my fork. "Dean broke up with me," I blurt. "No! What?" she replies. "He broke up with you," Nita says in disbelief. "Dean is single," Willow adds. We all turn to face her. Is she serious? "I just mean, yeah, that's awful," she says, trying to turn her remark around. "It's fine," I reassure them all. "It's for the best. Really it is. We both wanted completely different things in life, so it was always going to end in tears." "Molly, I'm so sorry," Lou says sincerely. I can tell she feels bad that I'm going through this when she is so deliriously happy. That's why I love her. "It still sucks, I know, but it's onward and upward from here, right?" I say with a smile. The only thing to be right now is positive. "That's my girl," Nita says, wrapping an arm around me. "You know what? We can be single girls together at the wedding. We can pick up a couple of hot groomsmen. And just think how much fun the hen party will be now, especially if we're in Spain." "Nita," Lou says with a laugh, "it's not going to be abroad." We'll see, Nita jokes. She turns back to me. "I'm proud of you, Moll. It's all going to be okay." I exhale deeply, then smile. Yes, this is rubbish, but it's going to be so much easier to get through with my friends by my side. Well, my friends and Willow. Chapter 4. You know what? I'm starting to think a pina colada is not like a smoothie at all, because I've never made a bad decision after a few too many smoothies. I know it's a bad decision, and yet here I am, doing it anyway, because I am a woman scorned, and this is what women scorned do. Where am I going? I'm going to Dean's apartment. No, I'm not invited. No, I'm not telling him that I'm coming, and yes, I know what you're going to say, that I should turn around, but, well, I'm listening to the pina coladas, not common sense. I'm outside his building, staring up at the city centre high-rise, feeling ever so slightly unsteady on my feet. I suppose if I were going to change my mind about doing this, then now would be the time, but as I notice someone heading inside, I see this as my only chance to get in through the door without having to buzz upstairs, so I tailgate in. Honestly, it's just too easy to sneak into places like this. I'd be furious if I lived here, but I was never asked to live here. I was invited to stay the night, when it was convenient, and I was allowed to leave a few things here, but not enough to feel like I was putting roots down. Anyway, that's why I'm here, to get my things back. How can I get closure if I still have things here, huh? Dean's apartment is a total cliché, exactly what you would expect of a bloody banker. Something that is tricky not to mispronounce when you've had a few, although misspeaking in the obvious way wouldn't be inaccurate, would it? He has floor-to-ceiling windows, but naturally he lives high up enough that it isn't a problem for privacy. Inside is your typical bachelor pad, black leather, wood, sportsy stuff. Completely uninspired. And the whole place is so soulless and clinical. Nothing is ever left out. I used to fantasize about messing the place up sometimes, just to see what it would look like with a thing out of place. It turns out there was something out of place there. Me. Okay, enough of the pity party. I'm outside his door, and it's time to take back what's mine. I knock on the door with my head held high and my speech all planned out, only for the wind to be knocked right out of my sail when a woman answers the door. She's younger than me, prettier, if we're being honest, and she's wearing a super tight, super short dress. She's a 10 and I'm a drunk. Hello, she says brightly. Oh, hello, my voice trails off. Are you Dean's girlfriend? I shouldn't ask, but I can't help myself. Oh, no, she quickly insists. Oh man, did I really jump from naught to the worst conclusion? I can't believe I thought he'd dumped me because he had someone else lined up to take my place. I'm so quick to think the worst of him, just because things didn't work out. We just met on Matcha. This is actually our first date, she informs me. So here's hoping. Oh, that bastard. Lovely, I say. Is Dean here? He's just, in the shower, she says with a smile. Well, he said I could drop by and pick up some things, so I'll be in and out, I tell her, walking in like I own the place because with confidence, you can get away with anything, right? I march into the bedroom and grab my spare clothes from the drawer where I was allowed to leave a fresh shirt and a pair of knickers. I'm expecting to find the bed a mess, but thankfully for my sanity, it's still made, so I guess they haven't got to that part of the date. Yet. The only other thing I have here is a toothbrush. It's just a cheap disposable one that I got to leave here, but hey, it's mine, and I'm taking it. I walk into the steamy bathroom and grab my toothbrush. I can hear Dean in the shower, singing to himself. It makes me sick that he's so happy when I'm so cut up. Whether our breakup was for the best or not, surely he should at least be a bit sad. No? Am I crazy? Flustered, I accidentally knock the bottle of hand soap into the sink.
Is that you, sexy? He calls out. Decided you want to join me after all, huh?
I lean against the bathroom door frame, tapping my toothbrush menacingly against my hand, brandishing it like a weapon. I don't think so, I reply. I've seen it all before, and trust me, it's not that impressive. Dean sticks his head out of the shower door in a flash.
Molly?
He blurts. Hi, I reply, waving my toothbrush at him. He just stares at me, his mouth open, water dripping from his jaw and landing on the floor tiles in front of him. It would be a real shame if he were to make the floor slippery and then fall on it. Such a shame. I blow him a kiss goodbye, a sarcastic one, and then head for the door. My work here is done. The hot redhead is waiting in the hallway by the open door. She's probably been hoping I would just leave, like a moth who flew into the light and is nothing but an annoyance. I have everything I came for, I tell her. Thanks for your help. No, you're welcome, she replies. Can I offer you some advice? I say. You don't have to take it, but if I were you, I'd get out of here. Let's just say Dean has some pretty intense stuff going on down there, something that even the antibiotics are struggling with. Oh, she says. Oh God, thanks for letting me know. Ew. Yeah, big time ew, I reply. Anyway, thanks. Wait up, she calls after me. I'm out of here. I'll head out with you. As the woman gets in the lift with me, I smile to myself. I know she's just one girl, and there are thousands more on Matcha, so it's only a small victory, but I don't know. Surely he can take the weekend off, right? Then he can shag all the girls he wants, and if he's moving on, then I should as well, right? I have two choices right now. I can swear off men forever, or I can do what Dean is doing and move on. I know that I want to do the former, to fully embrace granny mode and hide away for the foreseeable, but why should I let him mess up my life? I should do what he's doing and swipe my way through every single person in Leeds, because what better way to get back on the horse than to, well, get back on the horse? The thing about Matcha is that it's full of duds, full of Deans, but I could meet someone good, a rare diamond in the rough. Not all men are like Dean, right? I certainly hope not, because the last thing I need is another one of those. Chapter 5. 8 months later. June. It's supposed to be bloody June, the start of summer, warm weather and light nights. Everything I have been waiting so patiently for. Instead, it's been raining non-stop forever, well, at least 2 weeks. And it's the really grim kind that soaks through anything it touches, gently carries itself under umbrellas and makes the world look like it has some kind of dystopian filter on it. Sometimes I feel like Mother Nature is against me, whether it's having a rain cloud follow me around or sending me my period right before I'm supposed to be going out. Mother Nature is not a girl's girl. Girl code means nothing to her. I should keep my voice down because I am going out tonight and she's already sent the rain. I hate going out in weather like this, but I'm meeting Lou for a drink and a catch-up, so I've made an effort. I've curled my hair, winged my eyeliner, perfect for once, exactly as I intended it, and symmetrical, so of course the rain is going to ruin it, and dressed in my best. If I look like a drowned rat when I arrive, then I do, but know that I did my best before I left my house. We're meeting at Thin Air, a swanky rooftop bar in Leeds city centre that we love to visit.